Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. We are back today off the back of kicking off season 4 in the previous episode. We had our opening 4 fixtures in La Liga as well, where we picked up 2 wins and 2 draws, which has us just slightly off the pace at the top of the table. But we got loads of games to come today, and we're going to kick off with our first instalment of the Seville derby of the season as we take on our great rivals Real Betis. Huge clash to kick off the episode where I'm hoping for another 3 points. Vamos Sevilla. Well, corner for Sevilla here, a couple of minutes until the break. It's been a slow start to the episode as Piqué's cross picks out Gila, and there's Aminguiri. And a few minutes before the break, Sevilla will strike first. Well, around 10 minutes left to play here. Still we lead by just 1, which is my least favourite scoreline because it only takes 1 moment and your opponents are back in the game as Gregor makes a pretty smart stop down to his left-hand side as he looks to keep his clean sheet intact, and he will comfortably claim that as he'll set us on the break looking for a second, with Aymar lifting that for Sanchez. And Sanchez still, oh what a strike. And he's back from that injury that he suffered at the end of last season, and he is back with a bang as well. Brilliant goal on the counter, and that will wrap up the 3 points for Sevilla. What a way to get it. And what an opponent to score a banger like that against. Juan Luis Sanchez, my goodness. We'll jump straight into our next game as we take on Sporting Lisbon away from home in match day 1 of the Champions League. Of course, made it to the semi-finals last year. I've said I am targeting the trophy this season. I want a treble. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do all 3, but I'm after all of them, and this is where our Champions League campaign begins. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, I've realised heading into this game that I've maybe made a bit of a mistake with the kits. I thought they'd be alright, but actually in game, they're both quite a dark colour, so it is quite noticeable as Ross continues his Champions League goal-scoring form. I'm hoping there's not going to be too much action today because this kit clash is pretty horrendous, but what a start from Aymar. Pedrosa into Aymar, the goal scorer, back to Pedrosa, and now Romero, who was the assist king for Aymar last year, and that might come for Aymar. Not sure if he'll get the assist for this if it does end up in a goal, which it does for Aymar Aroz once again in the Champions League. 10 goals in the competition last year, and he's got 2 already just 20 minutes into match day 1 of the new campaign. Oh, what a pass. Kepa can't get there on the dive, and Sporting have a goal back. That came from nowhere. And that's going to do it as well after a pretty quiet second half. The goal for Sporting ended up being just a consolation as we managed to grind out the victory in the rain here in Lisbon. Aymar Aroz kicking off his Champions League campaign with another 2 goals after he managed 10 in the competition last year, and he just loves playing in this competition. Good start to today's episode with 2 wins from 2, but a really tough game up next as we travel to the Bernabeu, the ground where we lost the title last year on the penultimate game of the season. Hoping to get a more positive result on our visit today. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, we fought so hard last season and just fell short at the end of the campaign. Oh, what a start this will be. Aminguiri, oh, he's put it wide. You would have put your house on him burying that, and he just caught it wrong. And against the mighty Real Madrid, you don't get away with missing too many chances like that. Well, still nothing separating the sides as we head into the second half, and we should really be in front after that Aminguiri chance in the opening few moments. But since then, both sides have sort of cancelled each other out, and there's not been any big chances. As here's Piqué, and Prados coming onto it. Couldn't pick out a corner. Well, free kick in a brilliant position here. Maybe a little bit too close, but Biner is over it, and he can hit them. Alex Biner. Oh, it's off the top of the woodwork. as Real Madrid survive as Bellingham heads clear. Well, that is the closest that either side has come, and I've just seen somebody go down. I think it might be PK on the edge, as he does get back to his feet, which makes me think that will just be a bruise. But Jibril's also gone down with a knock, and Real Madrid are saying, well, if we can't beat you, we're just going to injure you, as two of our key players hit the deck. But here comes Yasser. Yasser into Amin in the middle, and he scuffs it wide again, as still we remain deadlocked. Well, there is the whistle, and despite a few chances for Sevilla, we were unable to find the breakthrough. And unlike the crazy 4-2 game that we saw here at the end of last season, it is a bore draw between Real Madrid and Sevilla. Not a terrible result. It means that the head-to-head is dead even as well. It means Real Madrid do not pull clear of us in that regard, especially on their own home patch. But yeah, not a terrible result. We've had a lot of draws to kick off the campaign. It's 3 draws and 3 wins from our opening 6, and I'm hoping heading into our next game we should be returning to winning ways as we take on Deportivo Alaves. Vamos Sevilla. Well, as we head into this game, you would have seen the injuries for PK and Jibril Sal. Thankfully for the Spaniard, it is just a 5-day knock, and whilst he will miss this fixture here, he won't be out long term. But for Jibril Sal, it is another broken toe injury, like Gavi, going down with that same injury, and he will be out for 3 months. But I'm just glad it's not this man. Amin Gouiri does it again, our top goal scorer, back amongst the goals after a blank at the Bernabeu, and Sevilla are in front here against Alaves. We've got to get a move on with us being 6 points behind Barcelona already. Goume. Oh, what a pass into Amin Gouiri, and Sanchez with his 2nd goal of the season. That pass into Amin Gouiri though, watch this, bang, straight to his feet, round the corner to Sanchez. Sevilla have 2, and we look set for a big 3 points. Well, that's going to do it, guys. Quite a quick one, as it's a comfortable 2-0 win for Sevilla in the rain. Second half was pretty quiet and there was nothing to report. The 2 goals in the first half, enough to secure the victory for Sevilla, as we put a little bit of pressure on Barcelona, who at one point were losing to Elche by a 1-0. So I'm hoping they were able to hold on, but what a victory for Sevilla to get us back to winning ways, and I'm hoping we will be able to take that into our next game and make it back-to-back victories as we travel to Aimar Aroz's old side, Osasuna. Vamos Sevilla. Well, 20 played here at the El Sadar and still deadlocked at 0-0 as Aimar Aroz against his former team. I'm sure he'd love a goal. Brilliant from Aroz, and he picks out the bottom corner as well. Well, I'm trying to show respect. Come on. Come on, Aimar. Show the respect. There we go. Got there in the end after booting the ball in the net. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the pace of today's episode. I feel like we're cracking on through the games nice and quickly. And sometimes I can ramble for a bit, but I'm really enjoying the pace today. We are flying through the early stages of the campaign. And you know what, guys? That is going to do it as well. Another really tame second half. A game where we have just managed to grind out the victory after finding ourselves ahead in the first half. You knew it would be that man, Aimar Aroz, with the winning goal back on his old stomping ground. And Osasuna must be sick of the sight of him. He always scores against them when he returns to the El Sadar. They should have put a clause in his contract that we have to pay them every time he scores against them. But nonetheless, a big win for Sevilla as we close the gap at the top of La Liga to just 3 points on Barcelona. So a much needed win. Well, guys, I've just played out that following game against Lazio at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, and it was the worst game of FC 25 that I think I have ever played. 0-0, barely a shot on target. Definitely not a highlight worth showing, and we're just going to be moving on from that one pretty quickly. Not a terrible result against a strong Lazio side, but yeah, we'll be moving on into our next game. So it will be Rayo Vallecano up next as we return to matters in La Liga. Still undefeated in the league and 3 points behind Barcelona with 8 games played. So can we keep pace with them at the top? We need to make sure we keep winning. Vamos Sevilla. Well, guys, it has been another really terrible half of football. I don't know what's happened in this episode, These last 2 games have just gone to absolute pot. They've been awful. But I'm hoping we're going to get a goal in this second half because I do not want 2 duds in a row. As Gume now has it. Looks for Prados. Flag stays down. Oh, Yasser rides the challenge. Brilliant from Yasser. And there's PK. PK on his return. We finally have a goal. It's been another terrible game. And it takes a little bit of luck from Yasser Asprilla down the right. Rides the challenge and lays it inside to PK. It's a good finish from the Spaniard who scores on his return to the starting 11. But finally, we have a goal. Oh, no, no. Oh, my goodness. What a save, Gregor Cabell. Oh, that is why we paid 65 million to bring him to the club, because I said I wanted a world-class goalkeeper, and we've got one in the Swiss shot stopper. What a save. That came at him like a flash. We're not done yet, and he's there again to parry the ball away, as that will do it. And we do hold on for the victory. Not a particularly pretty game, and we've managed to grind it out by just a single goal to nil once again. But we've got to thank that man, Gregor Cabell, for his heroics at the death. What a save, as we do hold on for the 3 points. But yeah, I'm not impressed by this run of form. It has been pretty subpar from Sevilla. Despite us getting some decent results, we have not been performing well. And heading into our next game, taking on Elche, again at home at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, I'm hoping for a much better performance. Vamos, Sevilla. Well, we are seeing a very different Sevilla team this season to the one we saw last campaign. The high-scoring, free-scoring... Oh, what a goal, I mean. Yeah, the high-scoring team that we saw last campaign that was just bulldozing teams. This year, just 1 goal conceded in our opening 9 games. And it has been those close-out victories that have meant we've kept pace with Barcelona at the top of the table. But that is a wonder goal from Amin Gouiri. We haven't seen enough of that this season. And he's back amongst the goals here nice and early. Chance on the break here. Biner gets there first. He's got Amin ahead of him. Great opportunity. Amin racing through, beats his man and has the finish as well. Rifles it into the top corner. That is the Amin Gouiri of last season. 42 goals for him. He still had a good start to the campaign, but by his goal scoring record that he set last year, he has been not quite at that level. But yeah, this is more like it from Amin, and exactly what I want to see from our main man. Well, that is going to do it here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. And again, it is another closeout victory for Sevilla. The 2 goals coming in the opening 25 minutes, and we just saw the game out from there. Another great display from the boys at the back, and Gregor Cabell once again with another clean sheet. I was planning on closing the episode out there, but after a few quiet games, we will play one more. Match day 3 of the Champions League as we travel to Istanbul to take on Galatasaray. Always a hostile atmosphere, and yeah, really looking forward to this one in the Champions League as we look to get back to winning ways in this competition. Vamos, Sevilla. Oh, good ball. Amdouni holds off his man and has the finish as well. I tell you what, Galatasaray got some real quality players in this team, and Zeki Amdouni, the former Burnley man, fires in to give Galatasaray the lead. Yeah, they've been the better side in this opening half an hour, Galatasaray, and they deserve their lead, and they're looking for more, with Amdouni finding Keita, and Yilmaz, lovely ball inside. It's off the post and off the line, as it was nearly taken across the goal line by, I think it was Ivan Fresneda on the cover. But Galatasaray have been superb in this opening 30 minutes. Huertas, maybe one final chance before the interval, as Romero finds Fresneda, able to drive on. Fresneda going all the way. Ivan Fresneda, what a run, and it just opened up for the fullback, who said thank you very much and gets us back on level terms. Poor defending from Galatasaray, who have been so good in this opening 45, but one moment of madness and we are back on level terms. Oh, that's too easy. Fresneda beaten. And Barde's going to have to come across. Oh, he read that fantastically, Loic Barde. Tell you what, if this leads to a goal, that is all from the Frenchman. As Couto lifts it for Aymar. And he's got Morton with him. And there's Romero. It's lovely football. And Romero on the slide turns it into the back of the net as we complete the turnaround. But Loic Barde started that off wearing the armband today, and a fantastic piece of defending. That was Cucurella-esque in the Club World Cup final. And on the slide, Isaac Romero completes the turnaround with a good little finish into the bottom corner, and we lead here in Istanbul. Well, this game really has been a game of two halves, as we have been so much more dominant in this second half, as Koulibaly does well there, and Fresneda will find Puertas, and there's Couto. Baina through to Menendez, and there's Couto. Did he stay on side? Yes, he did. And Baina to round it off will score the third off the bench. That's a lovely little Sevilla move, and you can see what it means to Baina, who doesn't get too many, but off the bench to secure the victory for Sevilla. And that is where we will close out today's episode as well. A big, big win in Istanbul. That means we have 7 points from a possible 9 in the Champions League phase. It's been a good start in the league as well, as we trail Barcelona by just 3 points. Undefeated in the league and just 1 goal conceded in our opening 10 games. It's been a fantastic start to Season 4 in our hunt for some silverware this campaign. And we'll be back in the next episode to play through more of the early season. We'll have match days 4, 5 and potentially 6 in the Champions League as we look to really crack on with the campaign. And I'll catch you for that very soon, guys. Take care and peace.